It starts with a conversation, and here is how Ugandan women are leading the fight against cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is a leading cancer among women in Uganda, yet only 1 in 10 women has ever been screened. But there is something powerful already happening in our communities. Women who have screened are stepping forward to encourage others to protect themselves as well. This study, led by African and global scientists working in Uganda, set out to understand one simple question: what makes a woman more likely to speak up and encourage her friends, her sisters, neighbors, her social circle to go for cervical cancer screening? Researchers surveyed 160 women from 4 sites. These women shared information about themselves, about more than 1,400 women in their social networks. The goal was to understand what actually drives everyday advocacy. Those real conversations that happen at water points, saving groups, churches, and homes. This particular study is published as a preprint on Research Square, meaning that it has not yet undergone formal peer review, but early findings already indicate that practical lessons for improving cervical cancer screening in our communities can be a game changer. Here is what the study found. Women are far more likely to advocate for cervical cancer screening when 2 things are true. 1, they share their own screening story openly, whether their results were good or showed early signs of risk. Women who told their friends and relatives about their screening were also the strongest advocates. Sharing builds credibility. It helps others to trust the message: I tested, and you too can. Second, women with better knowledge about cervical cancer, what it is, how screening works, and why early detection saves lives, were more likely and more confident to talk about this to others about it. The study also found that trust and support within a woman's social network is a very paramount issue. Women were more likely to advocate when they regularly interacted with people they trusted and felt supported. Education also played a very critical role. Women with at least some secondary level of education were more likely to speak out. In fact, across all measures, more than 80% of women had encouraged at least one person in their circle to get screened. Some encouraged everyone they knew. These findings actually reveal that something is very important. The fight against cervical cancer, we may be looking for answers elsewhere, but it doesn't start in hospitals. It actually starts with conversations that we hold. Women understand cervical cancer when they feel confident and when the stigma is reduced, and they become powerful agents of change in their communities. The message in this study perhaps is very clear. We need to support women with accurate information, reduce the stigma around cervical cancer, and encourage open sharing of personal screening experiences. We can actually spark community-driven advocacy, and that advocacy may improve the screening uptake and influence policy and save lives. Cervical cancer is preventable. Screening is free in many of our health facilities, and a single conversation with your voice could be the reason another woman chooses to protect her health. Science, especially from this study, has already shown that conversations matter. Communities can lead. Together, we can change the story of cervical cancer in Uganda.